Hello everybody, my name is Tasman and welcome to another NZ Wild Adventure. So I've just come out to Jackson Bay on the southwest coast with Red Current and just going to go for a little overnighter for fishing, see if we can go for a lionfish, and then maybe if we feel like it, jump in the water for a crayfish, but only if we feel like it, because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm quite sick at the moment, but hoping that'll clear up by tonight, hopefully. But we've got a beautiful forecast, so I'm just going to head out and have a nice time exploring some new country. I haven't been here before. There's hardly any wind, but it's kind of weirdly choppy, so I'm just going slowly. What's coming around here? How cool is that? There's a whole bunch of seals in there too. It's a very cool cave. Right on high tide, might be able to sneak up here. It is bloody cold in the wind with the boat powering into the water. Let's have a go for a fish. Not much biting in the spot. Let's keep the fun. Nice little catch, because I'll keep him in the bait. Cold enough to have claw hands. There's a rahoi on the power from here all the way around to Jackson Bay, which just means that you're not allowed to take any power from the area, just to let the stocks recover, which is quite a good thing at the moment because it's entirely too cold to get in the water. It's funny timing. G'day. Good. How you guys? There's a nice fish.
Oh yeah, Cheerio.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
How you guys going?
Oh yeah, we've got a few cod, but not really happening.
Yeah, good size. That was horrible timing. Those guys had seen the channel. Came to say hello at the boat ramp. Gee, this long spike, isn't it? Just to pop out his eye. Awesome, that's a very nice tarakihi. Could be perfect for dinner. Good tarakihi spot. This is a little small. Got a good pull to him. One's enough for me. Oops. A little bit shocked there. Just a couple more drops to see if I can catch a different species. That's a big fish. Good pull. I think it's a nice fat tarakihi. Yeah, another nice size tarakihi. No shortage of them here. I don't really like being released, I don't think. Just do one nice drop. Oh no, that's a blue cod. It is a blue cod. Nice! Yeah, it's a nice big blue cod. Might as well keep him for dinner too. Didn't take very long at all. Got a very nice sized blue cod and a taraki. We'll just pop along the coast a little, see if we can get into the Stafford River and check out the hut. If not, I think we'll head all the way down to Cascade River. Well, a nice drop, just out of curiosity. It's a good sized fish. Flashes of silver. Must be taraki. Need its swim bladder equalised. Nice. Yeah, plenty taraki here. Unfortunately, no chance of getting up there. Not in my boat. What's that fish? Pretty large looking fish. Unfortunately, the Stafford is not much of an inlet, so I don't think we'll take the boat up there. So we'll head down another 10 or 15 k's to Cascade River. Lovely clear water. It's going to be good for a dive tomorrow. Just feeling a bit sick today. That Cascade's just around that cliff. I do need some fresh water, but it looks a bit rough to get in there, unfortunately. Quite interesting rock. Looks like concrete, really. Ah, it's a cool waterfall. Another nice one. And another. How cool is that? That is spectacular. Got the Alps in the background too. Cascade Point. The inlet should be over here somewhere. From the right hand side here. Just sussing it out before we head in. It's very low swell, so. Really shallow. It's kind of hard to tell because it's breaking everywhere, but a really small swell, so it'll be fine. And if I can get in at low tide, which it is now, then I'm sure I can get out at high tide tomorrow morning. The bar across the front, and I think the channel comes up the side here. Could not be worse timing. Interesting little settlement thing. Just see if there's anybody home. Quite a nice big landing strip. People clearly do come down here. It doesn't seem like there's anyone around at the moment. They've got a couple of cows here. Only keep the grass short, I guess. Anybody home? They kind of look like half Highlanders. Right, since nobody's home, I guess I'll just have to find a smaller river to get some fresh water. It's a swan. Another little building up there. Looks quite tidal, so probably very salty anywhere. Alright, I think we'll head over here, have a kick up on this little peninsula, spend the night out here. It's a nice water runoff pattern. I ended up pinching some water from a water tank outside one of the houses, so I'll boil it first, and sorry about that. Nice, there's the moon. Really got to make a light version of this. Just go park the boat and then do some fish. Well, that's disgusting. So you loop one end through the chain, wash the horrible sand off, one time bowl in here. And I like to tie it on twice. Not that it's going to be very windy. So then you want to tie the loose end onto about 2 meters away from the boat with a loop going through the anchor chain. And that's just to get the boat back in the morning. It's pretty much low tide now, so I think I'll just throw the anchor out. Something like that. Right. So in theory all you need to do is yank on this one. I'll just run that up at the beach actually, see make sure there's enough. Just grab a bit of string. Right, now with that, like that, just launch the boat and pull on the tightening side just till your knot reaches the anchor chain. A bit like sandpaper, you want both of them fairly tight. Yeah, and I don't think this log's going anywhere. And it's not normally that close to the boat, but you can see the knot pulled right up to the anchor chain and the anchor's bit nicely. Boat's sitting there very happily. But when the tide comes into about there probably, still able to get the boat back. Fish. Not the lightest tent I've ever seen, but it is more comfortable. Well, after all that, it looks like we've gone and done a whoopsie. I managed to leave the hammock in my car. So I have one very heavy coat rack and it looks like I'll be sleeping on the ground tonight. Pretty sure those peaks are Mount Castor and Pollux as far as I can work out. At least we've got a nice table. Looks so much like blue murky. It's actually been ages since I caught a tarakihi last. Just go wash this off. Lovely colours. Gonna get cold. Tarakihi koma. Yum. Doesn't get much fresher than that. The tarakihi does taste a lot like blue mochi actually. Very succulent. Like park up beside this log. Bit of wind protection. Not much wind, there's a bit of a breeze. I just whacked a tarp down so the sand doesn't go everywhere. It looks like a beautiful day, albeit a bit damp and frosty. I just covered my sleeping bag with this waterproof puffer jacket. Should have put this over the sleeping bag, but oh well. Wonder if all these trails are kiwi trails. That'd be quite cool. Rabbit. Surprisingly not that many deer tracks though. It's a good amount of grass and feed and stuff up here. Here's the boating camp. Yeah, still quite frosted. Like a little main highway. I'm glad the sun's out because it's still bloody cold, but the flaps are good there. The fattiest bit of a fish, so they're super succulent. Let's go check out the bar at high tide. Lovely clear water. Yeah, it's definitely heading out already. So there's a small bar just here, a big tiny channel that goes across to the right, but the main channel is on the far bank, except there's another bar coming across from the far side there, so just out the middle there. Looks pretty calm. Should be plenty of water because it's just past high tide, but I will watch it for 10 minutes or something. Little helicopter things back. What a pretty little stick. Little round wood. I think these are that other type of power, the one that only grows really small. Classic late start of 12 o'clock. But everything is dried off nicely, so I think we'll head off now. Looks like the sandflies have finally showed up. Right, and you just pull on the one that's connected to the boat. Should just pull through. Nice. Just go empty the boat. Because she leaks quite a lot these days. Got a good bit of current heading out, extra bit of speed. Questionable, but fine. Oh, that's embarrassing. I forgot to put my life jacket on. I meant to, but I didn't. Oh, that was stupid, but I guess it's a good reminder to always put your life jacket on when you're crossing a bar, or if you're in a sport boat, I think under 6 meters. but it's just a good idea in general. But beautiful day out here, not a breath of wind, so just gonna scoot around looking for some good visibility and then probably jump in for a dive and try to avoid all the great white sharks which apparently hang around this area. There's some beautiful water. About 3 meters deep, lovely viz. This spot looks pretty good, just anchored up. Well, the females should be in shallow, and there should be a couple of males with them. So here's hoping that they're in the really shallows because I'm still quite sick, so I don't know if I can equalise very well, it's even worse than normal. But it looks like there's a bit of country there, and if we can't find anything, we'll just move along the coast a bit. I loaded my spear gun immediately for a bit of protection. But water was pouring into my mask, so I had to go straight back to the boat to fix it. Jesus, terrible mask. The little squeaky noise is water escaping from the GoPro housing, I think. But lovely clear water and about 14 degrees, so very nice conditions. Immediately start looking in the nooks and crannies of the boulders. And it's not too long before I find this nice patch of smaller ones, with a couple of slightly bigger ones in there too. So I line up this one and completely miss. But it's awesome to see some crayfish in the shallows. I found some crayfish. Fairly small ones, but very exciting. I drop back down and line up this next one. He doesn't make much of an effort to escape, so it's a pretty easy grab, but I do manage to wrap my hand around a few of his legs. Thankfully they stayed on. Right, only a couple of meters water. Great start to the dive, and he is easily legal. I just popped back down to that crack, but it looks like all the larger ones have escaped to the back. Another similar sized male here, but he's in a bit of a tight crack, so when I reach in he manages to escape to the back of his hole. So moving on, it's not too long before I find another one, and a quick snatch. And this is a nice size cray, sort of getting up to the 1.3, 1.4 kilo size. No eyes! Nice big male. I like having the catch bag attached to the boat so I don't have to drag it around with me everywhere. There's a little crayfish here just sitting out by itself in the open next to the anchor chain. These ones are all a little bit small to have a crack at, but it's really cool to see another little nest. I'm really enjoying this dive, just cruising around, some nice viz, pretty warm water, finding lots of crayfish, it's great. Smaller ones, but it's still really cool to see. Unfortunately I was looking over my shoulder every few seconds to check if there were any great white sharks, but unfortunately I didn't see any, and really glad to have such good visibility. Quite a deep crack underneath this rock, but I can see that there's another nice crayfish under there, so I squeeze myself under it and reach out. You know, you good hold on both horns. It's another very tasty crayfish. This is one of the reasons that I like really thick leather gloves, because even if the crayfish grabs you, particularly bigger ones, they can't exactly do very much to hurt you. I return to this crayfish that was in a very tight hole at the start of the dive, and this time he turns a little bit sideways, which gives me the perfect angle of attack, and he doesn't manage to escape this time. Lost a leg in a feeder, unfortunately. I actually don't see any target species fish, so there wasn't too much to look for with the spear gun. Quite a few wrasse kicking around, but I don't tend to target them. Fiordland is just so cool, particularly with all the crayfish just hanging out. Stick the spear gun between my legs so I've got both hands free. Cruising down to my max diving depth of about 2.5 meters, and I spot my next target. Because I've got the camera in my left hand, I don't really manage to brace against any of the rocks, so when I shoot forwards, the crayfish shoots backwards and into his hole. I have another quick go, but his hole's a bit small for my hand, and he escapes for good. And there's a small one here tucked in a little cove on the side of the rock. There's a small cream power here. And not too many power seen, though. I wasn't really looking for them because of the rahui. There are a few boulders that don't have any crayfish under them, but they're few and far between. Little rock crab. Nearing the end of the dive here, I just come back to the anchor chain and look down, and there's this little crayfish coming out for a cheeky inspection. Have a snatch, but it scoots backwards, so I have a little grapple around and manage to snag it. Turns out she's a female in berry with eggs on the outside of her tail, which you're not allowed to keep, so I put her straight back. Unfortunately, I broke off one of her feelers. I just popped back over to that first nest that I saw, where I remember seeing a larger one, but he was further back in the cave. Go down for a little reconnaissance, and it looks like he's still at the very back of the cave, too far to reach in from the front. So I head around to the back of the boulder, where there's a little side entrance through the rocks, and I reach in and grab his tail and pull him out backwards. Nice! There's my fifth really nice sized crab. And that was perfect, didn't even see a single shark. Nice. Awesome, he's a good size, and that one's probably like 900 grams each. Yeah, that was a nice little dive. Got a good, probably 10 metres of visibility. Unfortunately, I was mostly thinking about great white sharks, but thankfully I didn't see any of them. Saw probably 30 crayfish, mostly smaller ones, but managed to catch 5 nice sized males. Got a couple of people to give them away to, and I'll also eat one tonight, I think. But I'll just tootle back to Jackson Bay now. Might just try to catch a tarakiki on the way. Yeah, I've got a tiny bit of bait left. Just try to catch a tarakiki. Got some bites. Yep, very tentative bites, but that feels like a very large tarakiki. Sort of got quite a big nod to it. Yep. Nice sized fish. Very nice. I guess the bait isn't as delicious as yesterday. Nice, it's a very good sized tarakiki for dinner. Just gotta head back to Jackson Bay now. Cold in here. Unfortunately it's low tide, so I can carry everything up to the car because I'm not bringing my 2-wheel drive down here. Oh, thank you. Nice, all packed up by 6 o'clock. Have a cook up. Well, that was a really fun trip. I've never checked out this area before, so it was cool to check out some new spots. Cascade River was really pretty. I think I'll be back. Really lucked out in the weather, even though it was quite cold. Had less than a metre of swell and hardly any wind. And really cool to get onto some fish and some crayfish and some pretty good viz. But thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like the video or even drop us a comment if you feel like it, because those things really help the channel out. And I will see you in the next adventure. But I got a beautiful forecast, so I'm just going to go out and have a... But I got a beautiful forecast, so I'm just going to get... There's a rahui. There's a rahui on the power. Should be plenty of water because it's just past high tide. There should be plenty of water because it's just past high tide. That was a nice little dive. It was good. that was a nice little dive. Probably a good 10 meters as well as. But I just tootled my boat back to. But now I just tootled my boat. Nice. It's a very good size. Nice. It's a very good size. Nice.